Hi, everybody. It is Coach K. Thank you so very much for coming, Alexa. Thank you all for coming to the focus training. And let me tell you something. It is not by happen chance that you don't have a lot of people on these calls, because this is exactly where people need to be. And I'm honestly going to start telling people, especially people who are contacting me, that they need to really try to make these calls, because a lot of questions that they're going to have, they're going to be on these calls. And we're going to be really focusing. And this is the focus training. And if you all don't know, focus stands for fully operating consistently using systems, because people can be as talented as they want to be. But I can tell you right now, everybody can get to the leaderboard and stay on the leaderboard where they are making income with systems, with processes and systems. You don't have to be uber talented if you have a system that you follow. And this is what we're doing here. This is why we're constantly teaching systems. This is why we're plugging people in, because we understand that when people operate in systems, then number one, they're going to be able to succeed, and they'll be able to teach the system. You can't teach talent. You can't teach luck, but you can teach systems. And when you teach systems and you've got a collective of people doing the same things over and over and over again, and everybody's walking in the same way, then you're going to have success, because the whole team's going to be successful. I'm going to tell you right now, there are just certain things that you want to pay attention to. We are growing exponentially, but even in that, I want you guys to realize, if our leaders have scheduled trainings or meetings or whatever they have scheduled, do your best not to schedule anything on top of that. And I can tell you, if you schedule something on top of what the leaders have done, and when I say leaders, I'm talking about Coach Kev, I'm talking about Dr. Tangela, I'm talking about Dr. Kofer. If you schedule anything that is contrary to what they've scheduled, I'm not going to be able to attend that, because I have to be where my leaders are, because they are on the pulse. I know for certain, along with myself, that we all spend a great deal of time with Mr. Seeley. So we are getting the information from the very top. And I would rather trust that than to trust other things. So if you do have to schedule a meeting with your team or a presentation or something, make sure that it is not a meeting that is contrary to what our leaders have scheduled. Because in scheduling meetings, our leaders know, first of all, what we need to talk about, because they have had one-off meetings with Mr. Seeley. So if they've sat with him and they have talked and they're going on our behalf and they've scheduled certain weekly meetings or weekly trainings, that's where I'm going to be. So make sure, again, if you have to schedule something, you try your best not to schedule anything that is over the leaders' schedules, because I'm going to be wherever the leaders are at, because they are on the pulse. Okay, so that's just the FYI. Another thing, we have talked, and when your leaders are asking for you to show up to something, it is not for their ego. It is because they know that that's where the best information is. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't show up for anything else, those 7 o'clock meetings, and they're all accountability. Even this, even though I call it focus, it's part of the accountability series that happens at 7 o'clock every night. My link doesn't change. Dr. Kofer's link, Dr. Tangela Collins Myers, her link doesn't change. So those two links at 7 o'clock are going to be the same two links that we are constantly using. Make sure that you put them somewhere on your desktop so you can find them, so you can get to those. Because at 7 o'clock every night, there is an accountability training going on. So I want you to think, a lot of people who are in church, they know 7 is the number of completion. If you just remember that 7 is when you are going to learn how to make money in your business, those are the calls that you want to try to make as many of those as you can during the week. If you can't make them all, make some of them, but make them, especially if you haven't made your accelerator bonus. if you have not been on the leaderboard, if you have not made any money yet, the 7 o'clock call is where you want to be. And also I want you to realize that the reason 7 o'clock calls are very important is because they actually make you move into action. Training is great. Training will give you education, but activity, everybody make sure you're on mute. Training will give you activity, but will give you information, but actually getting hands on is actually where your team is going to grow. So you want to make sure that you get hands on. This meeting is a little different today because we're starting. This is the second day of our new commissionable month. And if you don't know what a commissionable month is, it means that from this day until the end of the commissionable month, and it's not the end of February. I got to pull the date up. Denise may know it. I don't have it, but I can get it. The date that this month is over, this is a 5-week month, meaning you got 5 weeks to grow your team, to promote, to make more income. That's an extra week. But again, I still look at it as a 4-week month. And I want to get all of my numbers in by that 4th week. And there's a reason behind that, and we'll go into that later. But you have this time, but I want to change the DNA of this team. I'm seeing some stuff out there that I don't necessarily want to connect to, right? I named this team Tribe for a reason, because if you go to Africa to any tribes, everybody in the community is dependent upon everybody else. You've got certain people in the community, they are required to go out and get the food. You've got certain people that clean the food or prep the food. You've got certain people that make sure the clothes are done. You've got certain people that prepare the food. You've got certain people that work to get the clothes, and certain people that are geared or earmarked to teach the children. Everybody is dependent upon everybody to make the tribe run like a tribe. I know that we all are independent business owners. I understand that we all have our own numbers, but if we don't work together, we won't grow together. And you will learn quickly as you are promoting through this business, you can only go so far by yourself. That's why it is important to engage with the people that you bring in your business. That's why it's important to engage with people that are your sideline partners, whether you are going to financially benefit from what they do or not. It's important that you have accountability partners. You know, I've got 2 accountability partners in this business. Denise Wilson is one of them, and I'm so excited to have her because she's a realtor. There are things that I don't know about real estate that she'll be able to fill in the gaps for that. And there are things that I'll be able to help her with that she's looking for. So you got to find somebody that's going to push you. Now, listen, don't go get a good girlfriend that's your accountability partner that's not going to make you be accountable. Somebody's going to be like, no, it's okay that you didn't meet your goal. No, you need somebody to be like, okay, what's your goal this week? What are you doing? What are your numbers? How long did you do this? Where's your tracker? Let's look at your tracker and see why you didn't reach your goals. Do you have a daily goal, a weekly goal, a monthly goal? I can tell you right now, Dr. Tangela Collins Myers is not just my upline partner, but she makes sure that I'm accountable. If we both have a goal to get something done, she's watching my numbers to make sure that I am accountable for what I said. Because I came to her and said, I want to do certain things. She's going to ask me, okay, well, why didn't this get done? Let's talk about how you need to change some things or how you need to grow in some areas to get these things done. That's the type of accountability partner that you need, right? And we are in this business. If you're on this call, that means that we are connected in one way or the other, and we need to be connected for real. We need to make sure that we understand what our role is in this, meaning I need to understand that Dr. Tangela Collins Myers is on her way to national director. In order for her to promote to executive on the executive level, she has to have a national director. That means that I need to become a national director. You know, even though she has an expansive team, because she's poured so much into me and into my team, I want to make sure that I'm one of the legs she can depend on. So that means that I need to work to make sure that I can get there, right? So that lets me know, okay, that means that I am going to have 4 directors. So I'm going to have to work with 4 directors, or 3 now directors, to get to where I need to be. So there are 3 individuals I'm going to have to pull close and pour into so that I can promote, so that I won't prevent her from promoting, because guess what? Her promotion is directly tied to Dr. Kofer. So her promoting assists Dr. Kofer in promoting. Why in the world would we want Dr. Kofer to promote when she's already almost at the very, very top? Because Dr. Kofer spends a lot of time and hours and resources helping this team tirelessly. She keeps us informed of what's going on. She goes to bat for us in these FAB meetings. I know, because I'm there. She gets very little sleep, went on vacation, and I can guarantee you she only had a few hours on her vacation. That was really a vacation because people were calling her on her vacation. So when you've got people that look out for you, you want to make sure you look out for them. And that's what these calls are for. We don't get compensated for these calls. We really don't. We do this because we care about you all and we want you to have the facts. Dr. Tangela Collins Myers, can you come off mute and expound on this? She said facts. She may or may not be able to talk. I didn't ask her earlier. Let me know if you're in a place where you can come off. If you can, it's okay, because I didn't ask you earlier. You may be in a place where you can't come off mute. Anyway, while we are background loud. Okay, understand. She can't come off because her background is loud. But what I want to tell you is that this is the book that we are reading. I want you all to go get it and listen. If you got to get a used copy, get a used copy. It's okay. It is Building an Empire. It is by Brian Carruthers. It is the complete blueprint to building a massive network marketing business. And the back of it reads, you are literally holding millions of dollars worth of information in your hands. Now, let me tell you something about the word network marketing, because some of you all are afraid to go out here because you're afraid that people are going to ask you, well, is this one of them network marketing things? It is direct sales. It's what it is. And that's the truth of the matter. That's what I tell people, because network marketing has such a negative connotation, but we are working in direct sales. And what we have to do is not be ashamed that we are working in direct sales. Realtors do it all day. Keller Williams is working on a direct sales model. EXP, direct sales model. Other realtors, direct sales model, because they're not only selling homes, but they are also recruiting to have realtors come into their business. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's just one part of our business. But this is not just about recruiting and building a large network marketing team. It is about building a team of loan originators. You've heard of brokers. Brokers are individuals that have a great deal of realtors that sit. I will have yours delivered tomorrow. Great, great. Brokers are people that have realtors that sit under them, and they're responsible for making sure that their paperwork is accurate. They basically have realtors hang their licensing under their shield. Basically, I am going to look after you, like Dr. Tangela does for our team. I'm going to make sure that what you're doing is correct and accurate, and I'm going to make sure that we're not breaking any laws. It's a lot of a lot of legalities that they have to meet because they are working to cover a great deal, where you can do that here without having all the legalities. You don't have to worry about checking people's paperwork. You don't have to worry about them, working with compliance because they're already compliant driven through the credit union. You just have a group of people that are supporting the efforts of your network. Listen, your network will determine your net worth. And what a lot of people are figuring out is that they didn't necessarily communicate or have a network before they started. So now they're having to build one. Let me explain something to you guys. I didn't have a network for this when I came. I did not. When I came in, I was not, and I repeat, not going to grow a team. I came in really to get 6 people so that I would not have to pay that fee, and I was going to work with mortgage loans. And when the money started coming in, just for me putting in the 6 people, I was like, well, we may be on to something. I'll put out a few filters and find out. I got really excited about the initiative of this program, and I started just telling people. I wasn't selling people, I was telling people. You told me back in the day you wanted to work from home. Are you still serious about that? If you are, let me tell you about this. And just having a conversation, because I think what goes on too is a lot of people want to have a sales approach. Don't have a sales approach. Talk to everybody like they're your bestie, like they're your friend, right? And then, when you get to the point where you're closing the sale, tell them, ask for the sale, but also let them know, we're going to be fine either way. I hope you make the right choice. If you decide to come with us, that's great. If you do not, I wish you the best. That right there, I wish you the best, instantly gives people the sense of loss, the fear of missing out. Wait a minute. They just said they have this wonderful thing and they're trying to give it to me, and I'm not trying to take it, and now they're taking it away from me. People then will respond. But when you act like, look, I got a light bill due, I got to get you to sign up. My rent's due, my car payment's due. You sound desperate, and it comes across in your delivery, whether you know it or not. This book is going to help teach you how to grow your business the right way with a firm foundation. I read through the first chapter already, and y'all, it's so marked up. I'm embarrassed about it. I mean, I mark, I circle, I do. That's why I have to buy 2 of every book, because Kim cannot stand anybody to write in her book. So I write in my book. So I really have 2 of every book in this house. It doesn't make sense. But I just want you guys to understand that we are changing things, and it's necessary for us to change things because the business is growing. We are scaling. And when a business scales, you got to scale with it or you're going to be left behind. While I'm talking about that, let's talk about this new credit repair real quick. I want you to be on the call. If you don't have your ticket for Saturday, get your ticket. You do not want other people telling you about the nuances of this business. Let me tell you, it's been so top secret until Mr. Seeley hasn't even released the agenda to the FAB board, meaning he's keeping it that close to his chest. We're getting ready to do this thing on Saturday. We still don't have the agenda because he's wanting to make sure that everything is top secret. For a CEO to keep things that close to them, what do you think is going on? We've got some big announcements that we are making. So you don't want to miss that. You also want to make sure that you show up as a leader for your team. Listen, I know it's all day. I know Saturday is some days that the only day some people get, but it is going to be worth it. And if you can only come and stay a couple of hours, stay the couple of hours that you can, but show up. Okay. What I wanted to tell you about that is we're going to be having mixed reviews. All right. We're going to have mixed reviews, but I can tell you because I own an AI credit repair company and my fee started at $1,000. And I earned every bit of it. And I did say start. So the fact that you all have access to the same system or closely to the same system I was using, and they're only paying $2.99 a day for it, the last thing you want to do is kill your own business. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if you hate it, which you won't. You do not want to get on the bandwagon with people who are negative about this change, because it's not the system, because the system is a lot better than the one we're leaving. It is the fact that they have to learn something new. I just sent off my letters just now. It is the easiest system I have ever used. Simple to use. Simple to use. But because people are going to have to learn something new, they're upset. When it was time for me to do the letters, I wasn't in here printing off letters. I pushed one button, made my signature, pushed another button, and my letters were gone. All of them at one time. Don't let people's negativity make you kill your business, because if you start talking negative about it, then other people will too. This is why you need to show up on Saturday while they're training on this new credit AI. What you need to do is take notes and pull out every benefit you can, so that when somebody has something negative say, you can refute what they're saying with a benefit. And another thing is, you need to go into your system and you need to make sure that you are launching your own letters, so that you will have experience in the system so you can speak to it, because people are most negative about that which they have not experienced. They haven't been in the system. They haven't seen one video. All they know is somebody said it changed, and then they go berserk. We don't want to we don't want to kill our business by not being smart about this thing. This is a service that you are selling. If you talk down about the service that you are selling, are you going to be able to sell it? If I go into a cake store and the lady behind the counter who cooks the cakes or fixes the cakes or even puts them out is like, well, you know, that carrot cake is good, that vanilla cake is good, but that red velvet cake, baby, that thing dry. I mean, I would not, it's new, we just put it on our menu and it's just dry. What cake do you think I'm not gonna buy? The red velvet cake. You don't want to say that, because now you have opened up a door for realtors to be able to use a whole list of hundreds of people they wouldn't touch. They wouldn't touch them because the credit was too bad. And now that we have AI technology, it literally scanned all three of my credit bureaus and found discrepancies and allowed me to choose which ones I wanted to dispute. All I had to do was put a check in the box. They had already wrote the letter for me. I didn't even have to think of what to write the letter. Put the check in the box, send, boom, done. Told me this is when you need to do it again. Put that in my phone. Alexa, tell me when, give me, I want you to remind me on this date to send out my next letters. Done. Done. And I have full control, because after that, if there is a discrepancy that comes up, I just call and get my lawyer. The lawyers didn't go anywhere. So I want you to make sure that you are very, very careful about how you handle the changes that are coming about. If you don't praise your own pond, you can't expect anybody else to do it. If you are out there speaking negatively and you got people that are talking about, oh, I don't trust that AI stuff, I don't want to use AI, you're using it every day. You got Siri on your phone, you got Alexa in your house, you are carrying a telephone, you are using AI. When you are on the internet, on Facebook, you are using AI. So people don't even understand that they are already exposed. They are going to continue to be exposed. AI is being crossbred. It's not going anywhere. We're just getting access in the last 3 years. AI has been around since the 60s. Since, MIT was the first place that they allowed it to be exposed, but it wasn't the first place where it was operational. It was the first place that it was reported that it was operational, and that was in the early 60s. So AI technology has been growing since then. It's not new. So we need to get on board and understand, and I did it manually. For me to do one credit report, I could probably get in an 8-hour time span, if I'm doing it properly, 3 credit reports done a day. They did my credit report in 3 minutes. I mean, really. What does that mean for the consumer? That means that more mistakes are going to be found because it is done electronically. It is to benefit the consumer. Is it a change? Are you going to have to take 5 minutes to learn how to use it? Yeah, 5 minutes well spent. I think all of the videos to teach the consumer how to use it, they all average up to maybe 8 minutes. And they don't really need it. I mean, if you have a computer background, you can actually go in and do it really easily. If you send in an email, you can really figure it out without watching the videos. But for people who really want to know how to do what they're doing, they can absolutely use the videos. But really, it is great. We're going to have a lot of changes. So if you're somebody that's not used to change, I'm going to tell you, you want to keep that to yourself. You don't want to expose that with your consumer, because they are going to be the ones that help you promote in this business. Now, we talked about, for those of you who are coming a little behind, we are going to be talking about building an empire. If you go to Amazon, you can get a used copy. You don't have to get a new copy. But this is what we're going to be talking about for the next few weeks, because we are going to, I'm not concerned with titles, y'all. If you were on the call last night, how many people, put a 1 in the chat if you were on the mentoring call, Mentoring Monday yesterday. I'm gonna look at my chat. Let's see. Dr. Tangela said, building an empire is next level edition, the most complete blueprint to building the massive network marketing. Yes, ma'am, that is definitely the one. Denise was there, Brenda was there, Dr. Tangela was there, Libra was there, I was there, Kamoria was there. I think Brenda was there. Tammy Suttles was there. That call was jam-packed with information. Jam-packed with information. Somebody come off mute or raise your hand and let me know, somebody who was at that meeting yesterday, tell me something that you learned that you did not know. If you go to your reaction button and push it, you'll see where you can raise your hand. If you were on that call last night, tell me something that's gonna impact the money that you make, that you learned yesterday. Look, I know most of y'all, and ain't none of y'all shy.
All right, I will say something.
Thank you, Brenda. I was waiting. I'm like, now I know Minnesota definitely ain't shy.
Nope, we are not. What I really took away from it is that we have enough information already to be successful. We just have to be consistent and diligent and do what we know how to do. The 10-10 plan is just, it's a giveaway if we can just do it. So that's why I made my goal to help my people to get their 10. That was just one big thing, that 10-10, if you do it, it's a winner. And you can win on so many levels, even if you've missed your cutoff. That was big for a lot of people, because we have several that have already missed it, but they can get it on another level and another level. It just doesn't quit. So that was just a reminder.
Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that so much. Yes, you absolutely can. And I've got the recording of that. So we'll put the recording of that up. But it was really, that training can take you from beginning to end. Yes, Dr. Tangela, you never have to raise your hand.
Hey, Coach K, thank you so much. And good evening, everybody. I would say for me, I knew it, but I just want to echo it because it is so vital. The fortune is not in the follow-up. The fortune is in the immediate follow-up. And so for me, I had to learn to adjust that, and still working, because I know when you're working a full-time job, you may not be able to get back to somebody on the spot of a dime, but do not allow days to go by before you get back with someone. So that's just a constant reminder that follow-up is immediate, because here's the reality. When people are looking, they are looking. And are you going to be the one there to answer what it is that they're looking for, or are you going to leave it to somebody else to answer the question, and then you go back and you find out that they've signed up with someone else? So I just wanted to share that. For me, was something that's just a constant reminder to make sure immediate follow-up.
We can't hear you.
Okay, I was just sitting there looking one day, and that's just how spirit deals with me. And I just started, I'm a numbers person anyway. Let me tell you what blew my mind, since y'all being quiet. And listen, y'all gonna have to talk when y'all come on these classes, because I mean, I know that I'm the instructor. I respect everybody. So everybody is somebody. That is our motto on the Millionaire Mindset. So please don't feel like what you have to say isn't value add. I don't have all the answers, and you may be working with something that could help the whole team. So please don't be shy. What blew my mind when I was looking at the accelerator bonus was that extra $50. I ain't even gonna lie. Let me explain something. When we're looking here, we're advocates, and we're at $45, I'm already looking at national director stuff, because that's where my eye is right now. Even though I'm a director, I'm looking at national director requirements, right? But what I noticed was a national director makes 90. A national executive director makes $100 per sign up. So you mean to tell me I can add $50 after I get 3 people? I can add $50 and I'm at 95 per sign up? That puts me at getting what a senior executive director would be getting. And then when I looked at 53 at a team advocate, that's 103. Baby, we off the board. We're off the board. So at a team advocate, that's why, even if you're not at director yet, where you are is fine if you know how to work it. At a team advocate, after you get your third person, you went from making $53 per person to $103 per person. The national executive director at the highest point isn't making 103 if they don't get their accelerator. If they get their accelerator, they're going to get 150 per sign up. That was game changer for me. That was game changer for me. It really made working on my accelerator much more value add. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have some big networkers, because the longer you do this, really, the more seasoned people will be attracted to you. In the beginning, you're just getting your numbers in. But the more you learn, the more you come to the trainings, the more you know, the better you become at networking. You're going to have seasoned networkers coming. The first thing you can always tell a seasoned networker, because they're going to ask you, can you send me the comp plan? That's a hint, a clue. If anybody asks you for the comp plan, then they're seasoned, because most people, 99% of the people, do not. So when they ask you for this, they're going to look at that and they're going to be like, oh, okay, so you make $45 in the beginning per sign up. Yes, but then you can say, no, you make 95, because we've got this accelerator bonus when you get 3 people. And if you hit it, the first time, you'll be able to do it over and over and over again. Man, they're going to be counting the numbers in their head. So you basically are telling me that after 3 people, every time I put in 3 people, those 3 people are making $100. At the bare minimum, I'm making $95 per enrollment. You've got people that are waiting to come here because they understand, number one, that we got the most lucrative comp plan that's out there. How do I know? Because I've been in several businesses and I have usually worked directly with the comp plan. I was teaching a course called Just the Facts. And basically, I would go to different companies and work on the company's comp plan. And I would teach people how to get through the fluff and learn how to make money. Because we come here and we get caught up on titles. Titles are cute, but paychecks are cuter. I would much rather you be making the money because you've got people who are making the money that don't have the title. They're okay without being called this, that, and she said, I'm so grateful that I missed the cutoff, got my 3 immediately, and then the other 7 right after. Yes, that's momentum. She got her 3 and got her confidence up. I gotta tell you, all day, people think the hardest thing to do is to get 112 people to become a director or 56 people to become a director. The hardest thing to do is to get your first one. Your first one. And people quit shy of getting their first one. This is why we've got 80% or 75% of our workforce that's still at the either at the influencer or advocate place because they are afraid to get their first one. Your first one is the hardest. If you can get past the first one, you get the second one, and then you get, excited. And then when you get that third one and you get that first diamond and that thing light up in the back office, oh, you're ready to go. And then you go and you go and you get your 10. And most oftentimes people get 10, get that third accelerator, and then they sit. Or they celebrate and they forget to go back to work. Celebrate for a minute, go back to work. Celebrate for a second, enjoy it for a second, and go back to work. Tamara Taylor, and for those of you who don't know, she is doing she's going to be doing a launch on Friday. She said, we missed our accelerator bonus, but we aren't going to stop pushing forward. We still have other people to build. Great attitude, perfect attitude to have. Dr. Tangela Collins-Myers says yes, because everybody didn't know about it. And this is what I want to tell you. If you are on a team and you got a team of people who are geared to trainers, the trainers in the company is on this leg, y'all. It's on this team. No doubt about it. Most everybody that is connected to Dr. Kofer and Dr. Tangela Collins-Myers have a training background somewhere. And that matters because you can be a recruiter and not a trainer. Meaning you can get thousands and thousands of people in a business, but you don't know how to sustain them because you don't know how to train them. Training your people or getting them plugged into training. And even if you're not a trainer, isn't it great that you don't have to be? Isn't it great that we got these calls at 7:00 and you got the open office call on Monday and Saturday, and you got the Saturday training at 11 and 12:00? In the very beginning, plug your people into that open office training and this 7:00 training, because you got people who've been in the business for 6 months and they may not necessarily know the difference between path 1 and path 2 yet, when it is discussed on every single call, every training call. So you got to ask yourself, what skin do you want in the game? She said, I have a prospect for the MLO 9 p.m. this evening. Need the link, please. Okay, it is on the Millionaire Mindset Tribe page. Tamara, are you on that page?
Yes, I am. I saw the post and it said comment for the link. Do I just go into the events?
No, yeah, the link is there. Tamara, let me show you how to always find the 9:00. I'm going to show you this because we have people coming in at different times. I'm going to share my screen, everybody, because you're not the only person that needs this, because we still have people that are asking how to get there, and that's okay, as long as you get your answer. Let's see. Let me move this floating control. Okay. You're going to go into your back office. You're going to go to events, and you can find it 2 ways. You can come down to the home buyer seminar at 9 o'clock. This is where all the home buyer seminars are. And you can join the presentation from here if you're just joining. But if you want somebody to come to the event, you want to go to events and you want to go to the event calendar and find today. When you find today, it's going to say 8 o'clock, but we know that it's 9 p.m. Eastern. That's a different time zone, but this is the home buying seminar. It's going to tell you who's going to be training. Tonight it's going to be myself and Dr. Tangela Collins-Myers. And here's the Zoom link. So you can copy this link. And I also add the link to my calendar. And I do that because I want to make sure that I have all the information. So I just save it to my calendar and it's there. So it will remind me, especially when I have to do it. So again, you just go here and you can get to the link there. You just click the link and it'll take you. You can also copy the link and send it right to your people.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And usually on the Millionaire Mindset page, I will put up when we're having training, and I'll usually put the link with it. If I didn't this time, I apologize. Tuesdays, for you all who don't know, it's my training day. I'm training this. I'm doing the noonday calls. I possibly will be doing the 9 o'clock calls on Tuesdays, but Tuesdays are usually my training day. It's the day that I set aside to really support the team. A great day for you to be putting in, Calendlies for calls if you need some coaching or, you need me to walk you through some things. Tuesdays is definitely my training day. You'll see me all over the network with training on Tuesdays. And I did that on purpose because I needed to have some structure and not be all over the place. So anybody right now, and I don't care what the question is, I want this to be a question and answer segment because we always have these meetings and sometimes you don't get to ask your questions. There are no dumb questions. Please ask a question if you have one. Raise your hand so I can unmute you. Nobody had questions. I was going to say, who got a question? Okay, go ahead, Dr. Tangela.
Awesome. Yeah, can you hear me, Coach K?
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Awesome. So we know we got the AI credit repair now, and I know this is going to be, top of mind for a lot of people if it haven't hit yet, which is, what do I do? What do I say to the clients that call and say, I thought y'all were doing the work for me. Now I got to do the work myself. And they're thinking about if they need to continue with the program or not. What do you say to those people?
What I say to those people is this: we have scaled. We found a better way that's going to be better for you because it is definitely going to help expedite your credit journey. It's important that you yourself see what's on your credit as well, and it's in a format that's easy to use. Now, what is the expensive part of the program is the legal side of the plan, and that is still in place, very much so. We're still sending out your letters, so you're not sending letters. All you're doing is selecting what things you want to dispute. The letters have already been written for you. It's a lot faster. It literally could take you 5 minutes every 30 to 40 days. And if it were not a better plan, we would not have scaled up to it. So it's going to be something that can really help you. And you're going to see results a lot faster. So I think that's what I would say. Dr. Tangela, what would you tell them?
I think those are great points. And I think also I would just reiterate how this is definitely better. I think I would speak to the fact that we've got the the heavy data analysis that's being done by AI credit repair that is going to help them with the most optimal approach to disputing. their items, because I think they don't realize that, they don't know that, they don't understand. Listen, we talking about this AI now is going to analyze across your reports, as well as analyze data from other accounts similar to yours to help recommend the best response. What they need to know: this is done with them. This is not DIY. So even with them pushing the button, the AI technology is recommending the letters and the verbiage to use to get the results that they need.
You are exactly right. And this is why you need to go in and you need to do it yourself so you can speak to it. Like now I know to tell them, it's just going to come up. A list of my items came up. I decided the ones that I needed to dispute. I just put a check in the box. I opened it to see what the note was. It told me it already wrote the letter, and I sent it off for it to be mailed out by somebody else. It took me all of 3 minutes. So I think when we tell them and we take the fear out of it, because again, it's not the software, it's change. People don't like change. And if we get on the bandwagon fussing with them and they're like, well, I'm paying you to do it. Really, what you're paying for is a software. And you can use me as an example. We've got a young lady on our team who's using the same software. She's charging $1,000 per client. So the fact that we can get it for this minimal rate, and you have the option to get it free with 5 is free, and you're still going to get very expensive software, it's a no-brainer still. But always listen to their complaint, because to them it is valid, and you don't want them to feel like you don't care about what is bothering them. So you want to listen to it, and you want to not agree with it, but you want to let them know that you understand how they could feel that way, and then give them the facts. So Brenda, what's your question?
I forgot my second question, but my first question is, what can we tell the other new leaders here about how to handle when team members don't read the info that you send them, and then they miss cutoffs, they miss pertinent information? What is some advice that you can give to new directors or new upcoming leaders for people who are experiencing that?
Well, one thing that I did is, for instance, I have an onboarding document that I send out for everybody that signs up on my team to help, navigate them through some of the things that we go through. One of the things that I do is I highlight the very important things in red. That's one of those things. People are just gonna people. And what you have to understand is that people are used to a microwave society, and a lot of people want cliff notes. They do not want to take the time to read, because a lot of people are like, well, I never heard about the accelerator bonus. That lets me know that individual hasn't been in any of the trainings. They definitely haven't been in the onboarding or the open office training. They haven't been in the trainings at 7 o'clock. They haven't been on the trainings on Saturday. So that is honestly a them issue, because they're not plugged in. What I would do is continue, as you have done, to request, because you cannot demand, but request that people be accountable for their own rescue. In other words, show up for training. And one of the ways that you can do this is to tell them, I'm going to be on this training, and I would suggest that you come as well. And you have to understand, I may not be able to answer your questions all the time because I'm in training. And that will help lead them to training too, and will help them understand that this is their business. And although they did sign up in your organization, they are responsible for the success and failure of their business. And part of that is them plugging in. Dr. Tangela, what would you say about that question? Kim, you can go on volume.
Sorry, Coach K, had to get myself off mute, had to find my screen.
That's okay, babe.
I think that's great. And I also think that people just got to know when you're coming in to build a team, not only do you have to be there because you're accountable for yourself, but you got to be there because you're accountable for your team. And I think that that's the piece that's leadership. That's leadership 101 that says, I will make sure that I get myself in front of the information, get equipped so I can help my team. And so just knowing that if you don't position yourself to get in front of the information, to be there, to be committed, how can you expect that out of your team? I mean, it truly is. We are an organization where we are truly in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. But that means leaders are developing leaders.
I completely agree with that, because I can tell you right now, I get a great deal of time with Dr. Tangela Collins Myers and with Dr. Kofer too, but it's because I show up. And it's just human nature. You're going to spend time with people who show up. And if I have the same person asking me the same questions over and over again, because that's basically them telling you what I have to do in my life is more important than what you have to do. So I'm going to take my time and do what I have to do. And then I'm going to come and take up your time so that you can fill me in. That's me putting the oxygen mask on you and not putting the oxygen mask on me. So there's a way to do it very, very politely, but you start off with a culture of responsibility and accountability. And that's what we've done here, because the more independent you can allow people to be, the more room you give them to grow. It really is. It's going to give, thank you so much, Brenda. It will give you to grow, because if you have a daycare instead of a business, are you really going to be paid? No, because this is a free daycare, meaning you now are babysitting someone that doesn't want to live up to the business that they signed up for. And in doing so, every minute that you spend with another person is a minute that you're not growing your business. And you got to understand that your time is very valuable. Dr. Tangela? I saw your
Sorry,
hand.
Coach K. Sorry, one more thing, and I've got to hop to 8 o'clock real quick. Mm-hmm. But also just think about too, as you are leaders getting in position to develop leaders, part of your responsibility is not to go catch fish for your team, but teach your team how to fish. And so even when, for example, people may ask you, where do I can you send me the link for certain things? Especially when you know those links are in the back office, don't go get it for them all the time. Yeah, you understand, here and there, somebody might, but sometimes just tell them where they can go get it. Because just like you're gonna have to take time to go get it, let them go get it. Because once you help educate someone where they can find the information so they can be resourceful, the more you're setting them up to be independent, which is what you want. You want your team independent from you as much as possible for those little things, so that you can spend your time on like the major things, strategies and other things, growing and scaling your business, not spending up my time or your time going to find links. Because that is about being resourceful. If you just show them where to go, let them go get the information. And then they can teach their team how to go get the information. See, you got to think about everything that I do show my leaders, they're going to mimic and do for their team. So think about, what are you teaching them? I even tell this when I talk to people about who don't do 3-ways like they're supposed to, because they're doing all the talking themselves. But it's like, when you do 3-ways, the 3-ways, yes, it's because it's a part of the system, but you're also training your team what they need to do. So if you're not doing 3 ways and you wonder why your team not calling you to do 3 ways, because you haven't trained them in the system. You can't point to what did we take you through because you haven't taken them through the system. So I just say, everybody as leaders, train up your leaders to be leaders. That means take them through the process.
That is good, Dr. Tangela. And I can tell you with the 3 ways, I know you're like, well, Coach K, you don't do 3 ways. The heck I don't. I had a person that owned a mortgage company just this week. Not only did I call Dr. Tangela, but I called Dr. Kofer and was like, can you call this person on my behalf? So even with where I am, I follow the system. So you know, people don't legitimately see you as a mortgage loan originator because you're new. If they look at, everybody can look at that NMLS number and know how many loans you put in. So if you're telling them, come on over here and be a mortgage loan originator, and they pull up your NMLS and they see that you haven't done any loans, it is going to be a blessing to you to put them in front of somebody else that has more authority to that person. They can be on the same line as you. Let's say you can't get to a meal, you can't get to a Dr. Cover. It's just the fact that you're willing to release that so that somebody else can help get you through the 3-way. A 3-way call is simple. It is very easy. You make sure that person has seen the information. They've either been on a call, they've gotten a video, they've seen a live presentation, but it is important to make sure that they've seen the information. A 3-way call is not a presentation. If you are sending your clients to your upline or to your sideline to do a 3-way and they haven't seen the presentation, you did wrong for that. Because if they are a cold contact to you, they are a frozen contact to us. And it's not fair to put them in front of us and they haven't seen the information. Now a call that's supposed to take 10 minutes is now a 45-minute call. So make sure that they've seen the information and you ask them, do you have any questions? Let me set you up with somebody that has 100% of the facts. You then call, schedule it with an upline. Don't just call your upline to be like, hey, I got this person on the phone. Can you talk? No, because they're not on my Calendly. And if you look at my Calendly, I'm already booked. That's why I live by my Calendly. It's not to be some kind of way, but I'm a CEO. You can't walk into nobody else's office and just demand a meeting. So you have to make sure that you understand the rules to that. You get the time. Most leaders have a Calendly or a calendar. You get a time, you set the time up, you make sure you're on the call early, you make sure the client is there, you come on the call, you tell us who you're talking to, introduce your person, take 2 minutes to tell us why you're in this business, why you chose it, what did it solve, what problem it solved for you, and how you love it. And then you introduce your leader, edify them, exhort them, and go on mute and stay on mute until your leader gives you further instruction, which is usually going to be, you need to give this person your link and the promo code so that they can sign up. Because now you're setting it up so that we can help you succeed. But if you have somebody on the call and they've never seen the information, then you got us basically chipping through ice. And you don't want us to do that. You want us to just to be the authority, because when you edify us, we're going to turn back around and edify you. And then we're going to ask them, what questions do you have? And then we're going to be able to overcome every objection that they have and get them prepared to be on your team with you on the phone. So that's how a proper 3-way call is to be done. And I would say I would do 3-way calls until at least I was a national, at least. Until I hit national, I would do 3-way calls. It is impossible to get organized to know exactly what steps to take successfully to onboard a new team. Absolutely. There is as a matter of fact, I think Miss Brenda has a email that she can send out to you, Tamara, that we go by. But I can tell you that that is going to change. You can use it right now, but with what's going to be announced, that's going to change a little bit. But the basis of it will stay the same. Miss Brenda will send that out to you. And it says at the top in red, when someone joins your team, forward this email. I do that on purpose so that everybody is getting the same information. So everybody is getting the same information and it is correct and it is accurate. So yes, Miss Brenda will send that to you so you'll have it. And I would suggest that you go through it, step by step to see what individuals will be getting so that you can see the format that I have set up. And again, I'm going to do that again when these changes occur, and we'll have that for you. Thank you so much for all of the great questions that you are asking. Does anybody else have any questions? Everybody got their ticket for Saturday? I hope you got your ticket for Saturday. Virtual ticket. You can watch from the car, you can watch from home. If you got stuff to do, you can be online watching and have your earbuds in, but you need to be there. And you go to the events calendar. It's the first panel. Click that panel, buy your ticket. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Quick question. I
Sure.
know I got some stuff going on Saturday that I had a previous engagement for.
Okay.
I'd like to be at the event, but it says about cameras. Cameras is mandatory to be on, and that's kind
Yes.
of
Yeah, they want cameras on. I think they may give us a backdrop too, but yeah, they want cameras on because they want people to be engaged simply because it's virtual and people tune out. And this is not a time for people to tune out. But I'm sure we're going to have a few exceptions to that. There is a way that we can set up Zoom, and I'll talk to the leaders about this, that it will put the people who are on camera at the top. So it looks like everybody's at the top. I would imagine probably the day of or the day before. Tamara, I will find out from our leaders when we'll do that. I'm not ahead of the logistics portion of it, but I will definitely figure that out and share that with you.
Thank
Great
you.
question. Oh, you're welcome. So yes, Calandra, I think that what I'll do is I'll ask them to do that because everybody's not going to be able to be on camera, but most of the people will be. But there is a way they can set it up in the settings where the people who are on camera will be in at the top. Okay. Any more questions?
Hi, Coach K. This is Libra. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I've been
Libra.
in and out feeding my boys. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you so much for everything that you do. Believe me, anytime I see that you have a call, a training, or anything, I do jump on those because you are providing vital, vital information. And as I tell people, I've only been in this company for less than 6 months, almost a year, but I'm growing. I'm learning because these meetings are helpful. I just got through yelling a moment ago at one of my members, one of my rising stars. You have to be on these calls. You can't learn if you're not on these calls. I can only give you so much, but we have dynamic people that have been where you are. They're trying to teach us to be on their level. So please continue what you're doing. Thank you for all the information, even the late night text messages, anything and everything. You are wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach K, Dr. Kofer, Dr. Collins Myers, Dr. Hutchins, all of you all. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. I'm going to tell you the main reason that we're here is to elapse time. You know, where it took, I can tell you there were some people who had been in the business for over a year and they had not hit director yet. But when I came in, I got the benefit, and it was absolutely a benefit and a blessing that I had my leaders sit down and say, okay, we have done an audit. This is what people have done wrong in the year that they've been here. Don't do that. Here is where the bonuses are. do that. Don't leave any diamond on the table. Don't, anytime we've got a bonus, go for the bonus. And every accomplishment I have gotten, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of late nights, a lot of sacrificing, a lot of cold and missed dinners, a lot of missed appointments, because I had to put the work in. But had I not had that information, it would have taken me another 6 to 7 months to get where I got. I was able to hit director in 51 days. And that is not bragging, that is to explain to you, if you allow somebody to minimize your time by learning from the mistakes that they made, then you can grow your business twice as fast. And that's what you want. You want to get these ranks in quickly. When you're making a run, that's why you hear people say, oh, we're doing a 90-day run. They're doing a 90-day run. That means that for 90 days, they're going to be focused on promoting their business as far as they can promote it, because they understand that when something is in motion, it's easy to stay in motion. It's when you stop and start again, it's hard to get that motion going. I mean, when I came in, I lived on the leaderboard. I stopped to help some people grow. I came off the leaderboard, and I'm just going to tell you, it's been hell to get back on it. It's been hell to get back on it. And let me tell you, you're saying, well, what, aren't you doing the same thing? Let me tell you why. Hold on just a second. Let me drink this. It was hell to get back on it, because when I was on the leaderboard, it was in the beginning and I had a team of none. I didn't have people that I had to be responsible for. And if I had people to be responsible for, I had 10 people to be responsible for, or that I felt responsible for, 10 people. And I lived on the leaderboard. I looked at my numbers today. The organization is over 700 people. That's why it's harder. Because now there are more people that I'm responsible for, making sure they get the training and the support that they need. So the time that I had before to just concentrate on the leaderboard, I've got 20 balls in the air where I had one back then, right? So you want to get there as soon as possible before you have other competing priorities that will keep you from it. And likewise with the people who are now directors, who it may have taken them a year or so to become directors, when they first came in, they were helping build the company. A lot of these bonuses, they didn't have time to think about a bonus. They were creating the company. So, you know, it's no flack on them. I got to come in a plane that was at least half built. At least the wheels were on it. It may not have been completely built, but I came in with some foundation that they built. That's why I will always give honor to those who came before me. I will always give honor to the leaders who were here before me, even if they promoted after me. I will always honor them. I will always honor them, because I can tell you right now, nobody, and I mean nobody, on my team would have promoted without the leadership that we have being willing to share information to get people to promotions. Because all of this stuff I'm training, yes, I do my own independent research, but a lot of it also came from sitting up to 4 o'clock in the morning with my leaders on the phone. That's why, you know, Dr. Kofor sitting up till 4, it was all the time. So bringing that information back to the team and being able to share that, and then being able to take that information and break it down again so that people could really grasp what stuff meant. That's what we did, but we did it together. That's why I support my leaders, and I don't believe in these silos that I see popping up. We don't want to silo our teams from leadership, because you want to make sure that they can connect with the truth. The leadership is the place of truth. You don't want to have people so far out in in the desert until they can't get water. And it's okay to build your own brand identity as long as it doesn't take away from the identity of the company because we want to be unified as we can. That's why this meeting tonight was a little different, because I'm usually training, strategy, but sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. And that's what tonight was about, to let you know what we are focusing on. We are focusing on, number one, teamwork, working together as a team. We are focusing on strategy. We are focusing on finances. How much do you want to make a week? What do we need to do to make sure that you do that? How much do you want to make a month? How many people do you want to put in your system per day, per week, per month? So those are the things that we're going to hone in on and focus on. But I needed you to hear the heart of why we're doing what we're doing now and why we're making this switch. When the company grows, we have to grow with it. And change is sometimes uncomfortable, but necessary. So I hope that helped you guys. I got a couple of people on here. I need to stay back. I need Misty, Brenda. I think, what's the name? Who is iPhone? Who's on iPhone? I don't know who that is.
That's me, Jaleesa Golson.
Somebody else just put. Oh, hi, Jaleesa. How you doing, love?
All right.
So anybody else have any questions before we go? Thank you guys for coming. 7 o'clock is the money hour every day, Monday through Friday, 7
Okay,
p.m.
I have one more question. I have one more question. It's going to be quick.
Absolutely.
The onboarding. Is there a way I can get a copy, because I've been trying to create my own onboarding for my team? Is there a template or something I can get out of the back office or on Connect?
No, I actually created one. I will definitely send that to you. I'm updating it with the changes. Libra, do me a favor, wait until after Saturday so I don't have to give you something that you have to change, because it is going to be updated after Saturday.
All right, I will write it down and send an email I'll send you a text with my email on Sunday.
Okay, thank you so much, sweetheart.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, so Misty and Brenda, hang back. Everybody else, you can go ahead and get some time. Thank you so much for coming. I'm here. Use my Calendly if you need me.
Have a good evening. Thank you, Coach K.
Oh, you too, sweetheart. Kim, you need to stay too. Yes, you need to stay too. Hi, James. What you doing? I saw James, but I did not see your face. How are you doing? Okay, wait 1 second. Oh, you're on the road. Oh, okay. That's okay. Listen, this is what I'm going to do, James. I'm going to send you the video from yesterday. That is complete strategy. Look, I know who I'm dealing with. You want strategy. I'm going to send you straight strategy. I did a training yesterday on that, and I did one today for realtors. I'm going to send you both of those. I'm also going to send you an onboarding document as well to make sure that you have that. And that, while you're on the road, is going to keep you busy. Is there anything else? Gotcha. Okay. Yes, you're going to catch up. Okay. All righty then. I'm going to send that right now. Give me about 10 minutes to talk to these ladies, and I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in your box so you'll have it. Thank you so much. You tell your wife I said hi. Okay, I'll send you my number. Let me put it up here now so you'll have it. Let me put it in the chat. Y'all, let me tell y'all something about Mr. James. I worked as a document retrieval specialist. His wife taught me that business over the phone. And they worked with me. Lord have mercy, I was a lost case. And she is my first person in this business. She was my number one. She signed up. You tell her we got 700 people in my organization now. When she signed up, she was the first person that said yes. His wife, Montoya. I'm like, oh my goodness. 5635. There we go. So that's my number. You text me anytime. Let me know who you are. And again, I'm going to send you that training. I did a whole thing of strategy. And if you learn that one video tomorrow that I'm going to send you tonight, it's game over. It's game over. You welcome. You welcome. Well, I'll talk to you later, James. You can log off. I've got to talk to these ladies about what's next. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Oh, definitely.
Okay. Woo-hoo. Ladies. Mother's tired. But I don't need to be tired because I got to do another call at 9 o'clock. Listen, ladies, what's going on with you? Just wanted to talk to you guys just to see what I can help you with. And I found that this is going to be the time that we're going to be able to meet for the this is the time that we're gonna be able to meet because it's just more convenient. When I try to do it on another day, I can never do it because now I'm doing the Women of Wow and oh Lord, getting this prop ready.
Well, I'm excited to keep moving, keep going forward, keep trying to help other people to move and get some new outreaches. I'm reaching out to some different people that I haven't really had conversations with. So I'm asking them now, can we talk, rather than just sending them a video or whatever, trying to have conversations to get where their heart is and not going after people that are probably really not. I know you can't judge who's going to do something, but people that are in the business or in some kind of business or doing something sometimes are candidates for, continuing with what they're doing, as opposed to people who are couch potatoes and just have, nothing that they're interested in or where that they're going. I'm just not looking for that kind of team members if they're not going to do anything.
I agree with you, Brenda. But this is one thing that I found out about the system. They're not really, oh, hold on, let me cut this off.